All right, so in the HBR article, here's some things that we can do, and this speaks to your point again, Narina. So I want you to write these things down, please. So this is from HBR, right? We can raise our awareness. Great, we're doing that today, right? We can ask for help. Don't worry, I'm going to say something about this in a minute. You know, we can't ask for help if we don't feel like safe to ask for help, right? That's what I think is wrong with a lot of the recommendations around how to not burn out, is that a lot of it is because it's our emotional and mental state is being challenged, and we're drained in that way, not just physically. Asking for help, there's no way we'll ask for help if we don't feel like that's something that we can do. I was speaking to an amazing leader yesterday. Asking for help is a weakness. So if we feel that asking for help is a weakness, which would be part of why we're burning out, we're not going to ask for help. So it's great to have all these recommendations from amazing things like HBR, but they're not always going to actually make a difference. So that's why we need to move from information, these sessions, into implementation of new things, all right? So we'll get to that in a sec. Prioritize your well-being, all right? Okay, we're going to get through this. And then, you know, look at your work environment. So they're the things that if you read any article, that's what you're going to get. Raise your awareness, ask for help, prioritize your well-being. There's so much on the net about that. Makes no difference. We know that. We know that stuff already. So what does make the difference, yeah? Dr. Murray, the org psychologist that I mentioned to you earlier, he talks about going for walks, taking short naps. Yeah, but we're not going to do that if we think that's a failure, which is where we'll be if we're on the path to burnout, right? Because that's why we're burning out in the first place. So these are great, but they don't give us the whole answer. Would you agree with that? Which I think that's probably why you're here, right? Looking for new answers. Yes, exactly. When we, you know, one of my passions is making sure that you have an experience with me, that you don't just gather information. I want to interrupt your thinking so that you do something new. As you've heard me say before, so what, now what? What's going to be different that we spent this time together today? I don't want to just give you information that you can go and search for anywhere. I want you to be challenged. I want you to come up against yourself. I want you to hear some things that I share in my stories that maybe resonate for you. I want you to unlock a new place of vulnerability and then leave these calls reflecting in a new way. That's my job done, right? If I get that with you, because information doesn't make a difference. We can read all the books and go to all the seminars, but if we're not making a change in our lives, it makes no difference. All right. So the three things that you've heard me talk about before. Where did my good pen just go? Yeah. What time is it, Georgie? 12 past. So here's the three things that you must do. Now this is just quickly because this, for those of you who've been here before, it won't be new. Self-responsibility. Okay. Can you see that? Self-responsibility. Boundaries. Values. Be willing to upset people. Be willing to disappoint. Do what's different to other people. Just because everyone else is doing it doesn't mean you need to do it. Okay? Self-responsibility. Self-awareness. Notice your triggers and act on them. Notice your physical and emotional state. We have to raise our self-awareness to what's going on. Another beautiful conversation yesterday with a leader, and sharing how she's starting to see and notice her triggers that she wasn't noticing before, only because she's been doing the work through the coaching. Where she was coming up against the block for a while, suddenly it started to open, and she's starting to catch herself now, where she would normally go down a rabbit hole with a trigger, emotional trigger, a reaction, a fight back, a defense, not ask for help because it means I'm weak. Yeah, the example I gave you before. We have to raise our awareness to what are our triggers getting in our own way. We're getting in our own way. Yeah. And then the other piece is self-trust. We need to build the anchor within us. Okay. So this is just a quick recap of things you've heard from me before. So self-responsibility, self-awareness, and self-trust are the 3 key things, which is why when you read an article and it gives you these 5 tips, prioritize your well-being, go for a nap, you're not going to do that. No one's going to do that if we don't have this, and we don't have this, and we don't have this. Would you agree? So these are the 3 things you need to make sure that you're cultivating in yourself. If you want to know how to do those things, some of our past webinars on my YouTube channel will help you do that if this is your first time today. And I'm going to give you a couple of other things now. All right, so this is the wheel. Like, this is the bike that you're riding through your life. This bike has 3 wheels. Self-responsibility, self-awareness, and self-trust. There's no substitute for those things. When you start to build self-trust, you will make tough decisions even when other people want you to do something else. You will set a boundary.